What up, everybody? This is Jason, Zombie Collector, and I have some time this evening. Thought I'd go live. I was going to do a video where I showed this stack of cards, like in probably like a three-part video. But since I have all this downtime right now, this afternoon, which I feel like I rarely have this much downtime, I thought I'd go ahead and just do a live stream. Maybe I scoot over here a bit. Uh, I do like a live stream and kind of show off the cards and just kind of hang out for a bit. I don't think I'm going to do any music because if I do, it's almost inevitable. Or do you remember back in the olden days when I could go live and do like random music and songs and theme music and soundtracks and all that? And I don't think I had any videos taken down. And now, within minutes of me hitting stop or whatever, the video gets taken down or whatnot. So who knows, dude? So anyway, so it is what it is. So I'm gonna show off some cards. I'm gonna wait and see if we get a few people in here. If not, then I will just start showing cards because I just want to have this for what posterity's sake, I guess. So I have just a handful, a couple wrestling cards. Then I got a whole smattering of cards I picked up. I kind of went a little bit nuts at the card show, to be honest. So I don't know if I have regret. That might not be the right word, but I did believe I went kind of hot and hard and heavy. When maybe I could have taken a step back a bit and just been like, you know what, do I really need to get all these cards? And apparently the answer was yes, I do need to get all these cards. So it took a little bit of a little bit for me to kind of pump the brakes a bit, maybe not get so crazy with everything I picked up. I'm trying to have a little bit of a rhyme or reason for showing some of the cards. So I'm gonna wait and see if anybody pops in. If not, then no big deal. All right. A lot of the cards I picked up was I'd never seen before. They're like numbered cards, like some of the low numbered cards are from like odds and ends sets or just product. So I was, pretty pleased as punch to grab some of this stuff. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna show off some cards. I'm just trying to get a feel for what I have, kind of get some stuff going. Like I said, and then we'll get to it. I probably need a sleeve for that bad boy. I can't believe I don't have a sleeve on that. Okay. There's a couple of them that don't have sleeves. What's going on here? Like a penny sleeve, a penny for your thoughts. All right, so that's two of them I need. Some penny sleeves for. Where are my penny sleeves at, yo? Where's those penny sleeves? Ugh. I'm looking. Let's see. I know I have them right here somewhere. I guess I'll just make do. I'll just make sure I get this penny sleeve on here shortly. Oh man, if I turn this camera around and face it towards my window back here, you're gonna see this nothing but just like the last 6 months of me just buying cards online and going to card shows. It's been getting nuts. Like I need to probably buckle down and start like actually going through the cards and sorting them and getting them in the binders. I'm almost like I'm dreading it right now. It just seems like it's a lot of work. It's a lot easier just to hit the buy it now button or the auction button or how many $1 here or $5 there or whatnot. It's only then when you win it or when you bring it home from the card show and then have to then put it away. So maybe I need to ask Mike Baseball Collector see if him and his dad can put together a monster for me, and I can just put it right here in the corner of my room, and and that way I would have something just I could store everything nice and easy. It would be mostly filled with like bargain bin cards, but there would be some reprints of some Ty Cobbs and Lou Gehrig's and Babe Ruth, so there'd be some of those, some reprints, some modern day stuff. But yeah, anyway, so let's see here. I'm waiting another minute or two, and then we'll get the ball rolling. Okay, what the heck is going on here? What in the heck? Okay. Some of the cards I picked up are like pretty, I guess, vintage, so to speak. And I was surprised. There was one guy that was there at the card show that was, he was like giving things away. Some of this vintage stuff, it's pretty nice stuff. And in nice condition. And I was surprised at the prices he was, doing. I was like, oh, okay. You sure you want to give these prices so low? He was like, yeah. He was actually asking me, oh, what is this car worth anything? And I would say, well, I think probably worth a couple dollars. He's like, yeah, just take it for $1. Oh, okay. I will gladly take that from you for $1. Yes. If I must, I will do it. All right. So I think I have it kind of all categorized a bit, a smidgen. There's no real rhyme or reason for any of it, but I just kind of wanted to show everything real quick. And then, there's conversations going on, great. If no conversations going on, I will be getting done and getting off and going on and doing something else. All right, I think everything pretty much is good. Someone is, like I said, start showing the cards. I've meandered long enough, and we'll get to it. So the first couple are wrestling, so I know most people are not fans of wrestling, so I totally understand. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but I do want to have them just on camera so I can say, oh, yeah, I did show those off. And then I'm going to move on to the baseball, which is what I would say. If anybody who watches this later will be like, oh, okay, this is what I came for. Oh, is this card bent and I didn't notice that? Man, it better not be bent. Oh, thank God. We almost emergency diverted. I was like, did I buy a bent card and not even notice it for a whole whopping quarter? So the first one up I'm going to show is Haku roundhouse kicking Andre the Giant. There you go, in WrestleMania 6. And so the story there is Andre the Giant was probably the most feared wrestler at the time. I don't know if this will work. Will this work if I put this card right over here? Is there a way to Is there a way to put the card right here while I'm showing it off? Not really. If I would have thought this through earlier, maybe I would have been able to do that. But anyways, so the story is Andre the Giant is one of the most feared wrestlers probably of all time. However, even Andre the Giant, as the story goes, was fearful of Haku. Haku had apparently a 0 BS meter, and he would straight up attack you and fight you regardless, no matter what. So I know, dude, I was afraid if you come for the music. Well, what's up, Joe? This video is going to get taken down. Like, I feel like every time I do a video now, I put any kind of music, even the most probably no care music, like no one's going to care. They'll probably be grateful that I'm playing the music on here. It gets taken down. So I almost feel like it's not worth the hassle. The next up is a Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior from also WrestleMania 6. So this was a huge deal. If you're a Hulkamaniac or a Ultimate Warrior fan, this was when the stars collided. This was for all the kicks and giggles right there. I'm not for sure this guy was literally thinking he's going to ask $12 for this. Sure, that's not what he was thinking. But the guy I got this from, and I'm not saying this in like a making fun of way, but I feel like he was a little bit off. And I don't know what was going on. I mean, I wasn't like I took advantage of the guy. I mean, he had a box that said quarter for all the cards, like per card. So I was wanting to make sure, and then I put it all together, and he just gave me a pretty good deal. So, but anyways, he seemed a little bit like he was just there just to hang out and sell some cards. But anyways, I remember this being a Hulkster, Hulkamaniac about this. So there you go. But yeah, you have Hulk Hogan. I was talking about my Hulkamaniacs, and he's talking about, I'm gonna get your brother. Today's gonna be the day. And then you have Ultimate Warrior, who's like, the cosmic war will come to you, Hulkamania. The cosmic buffaloes and wildebeest will attack you from Pluto. And you're like, hold on, wait, what are you talking about, Jim? But he would I promise you, please go back and look at the Ultimate Warrior promos back in the day. He was talking, a lot of these guys would talk nonsense in their promos. I mean, that's a fact. I think they would just get on there and they're probably so coked out of their minds. They would just say whatever. They're probably watching like some kind of like 2001 A Space Odyssey. But I mean, seriously, go back and watch like Ultimate Warrior promos. But like the ones that don't even air, like don't make it to air, like he's just going off. I mean, he's saying all kinds of stuff. And sometimes they would actually say on there like gibberish or incoherent, because he would start out like, if you're an Ultimate Warrior fan, you come from the cosmos like me. And then there's a Jennifer, and there was a bear, and then there was a bear who rode in a pony. Yeah. You're like, did I just hear the word bear and pony in the same sentence? What? So yeah, it would be like nuts. So then you have Hulk Hogan right there. This guy had all the really clean 1990 cars from Titan Sports. I was really surprised. It even says trademark of Marvel. So if you didn't know, which I did not know, but I guess back in the day, I don't know if it's still on there, but they used to have to get permission from Marvel Studios or whatever it was called back then, Marvel Comics back then, to let him use the name Hulk Hogan. Like they had control of the name Hulk, which it seems weird because a Hulk is like a hulking, huge mass giant. How do they get the copyright or whatever to the word Hulk? But apparently back in the day, they were able to make WWF at the time, I guess, pay to use the name Hulk. And there you have the Thunder Lips himself. All right, moving on. Then we have the Hulkster doing one of his things that he's very known for, which is, always doing as he went around the ring, doing the whole thing and everybody cheering. As a kid, you used to think that was just so, so cool. But when I go back and watch it now, I'm kind of like the stuff that he said and he did, and he had like no real moves. He did like the same like 4 or 5 moves. It's kind of actually a boring matches when you go back and watch a lot of these older guys. You go back and you're like, oh, really? That's what I was so excited about. I mean, and I hate to say that because I'm like the biggest Andre the Giant fan when I was a kid. But the Andre the Giant matches are so boring. Now, when he was a little bit younger, back in the olden days, it was a little bit more entertaining. He did a little bit more. But man, from like basically like the early to mid 80s until I guess the early 90s when he finally hung up the old boots, it was pretty painful to watch. Then we got Hulk Hogan and punching Andre the Giant in the head. And this is a WrestleMania 4 right there. And Andre just in there taking the old beatings. And then what? Right here we have the Ultimate Warrior, or that Dingo Warrior. Hello, Dingo. That's what he went by, I believe, and I forgot, Mid-South or Mid-Atlantic, wherever he was initially. He went by the Dingo Warrior. He literally had no idea what a dingo was, and he just said it was like, that was cool. So he agreed upon them giving the name Dingo. I was like, dude, where were you at, man? Come on. And then his tag team partner was Sting, Steve Borden. But they started out together. So the old Dingo Warrior. And whoa, 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 whoa. And then we have another Andre the Giant right there. Love it. No joke. They could be making them to attorney or from eternity and from infinity and beyond. From infinity and beyond. Yes, they would. So here we have Andre. Well, what does it say here? It says here, least favorite person, anyone who dares to get in the ring with him. Least favorite animal, Jake the Snake's Robert, Python Damien. Favorite famous wrestling move, the headbutt. You know you're in the 80s when the headbutt is your go-to move. And then we're talking about Jake the Snake Roberts. I've met him. Actually, I just saw him a couple weeks ago. He was in Indiana at a horror movie convention. And he just got up and left his table like the entire weekend. It was a very poorly attended convention. So I will give him a little bit grace there. But he was like barely at his table. So I don't know if he was like fed up sitting around. I feel like he's not doing much. What's up, Jackie? Jackie. So he was like getting up and he wasn't at his table half the time. So I was going to get his autograph. But every time I walked over there, either he wasn't at his table or he was like up walking around and he really wasn't at his table. I felt bad to bother him because he wasn't sitting down. He was like walking around just chatting up people like other celebrities or whatnot. So I kind of felt bad to be like, Jake, can you come over for a second? So I just was like, all right. And then the few times I saw him at the table, there was a handful of people and it was so few and far between. I was like, oh, I'll just swing back over in a couple minutes to get his autograph. No, he'd get up and leave. All right, so the next up we have is a really cool one here. We have Bryan Danielson, which is what his name is now, on this WWE card, Champions. From what year is this? 2011. So that's cool. He has, it looks like The Miz and an armbar, so that's good. And then let's see what else we have here. I was surprised this guy had so many like AEW stuff, but he did. And then we have Vance Archer, not to be confused with Lance Archer. Yes. Yes. So he goes by Lance Archer in AEW. And he looks really like nothing like this guy anymore. Just what year did this come out? 2010, so what, 23 years ago. Or 13, I'm sorry, 13 years ago. And he looks nothing like, now he has like these huge dreadlocks that are different colors. He has tons of tattoos all over his body. Yeah, he actually is. Jake the Snake Roberts is actually his like manager. But something's about ready to happen there because last night they had the Battle of the Belts and Jake the Snake is about ready to lay out Orange Cassidy, and Lance Archer, not to be confused with Vance, told him like to back off, not do it, and then said that basically he was interfering. He wanted to beat him clean, and then Orange Cassidy went on to beat Lance Archer. And so now you're wondering, and then the whole time, you could tell he was not a happy camper. So time will tell how this all plays out. Next up is a canvas of Jamie Hayter, former AEW Women's World Champion. It looks like she has Ruby Soho in a headlock there. So she had got injured in real life. So she actually lost the belt to Toni Storm, who now has it for, I believe, the second time. And Jamie Hayter started out kind of slow. She was kind of like a thug. I remember she shows up. Apparently she was there at the beginning back in 2019, but the pandemic happened, and so she ended up getting stuck in England, which is where she's from, and not really came back. And she came back as kind of like a henchman for Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And then surprisingly, she ended up overshadowing her now, and Dr. Britt Baker is like kind of like on the sidelines, and Jamie Hayter is now. But she has like some cool music. She has like a real like cool essence and aura about her, so it's been going really well. And she has always like the haterade and all this kind of stuff. She's making all kind of plays on her name. These are all smart things. Next up, we have the natural Dustin Rhodes, aka Gold Dust. This is old Dustin Rhodes. This is Dusty Rhodes' oldest son. Cody Rhodes' big brother, I believe, half brother. But here he is with, I don't know who that is. It's a strap match, it looks like. I don't know who did he get in a strap match with? I can't remember, but he was in a strap match with somebody, but there it is. I can't remember who that is. Don't know. But anyway, so you have Dustin Rhodes. He's still looking pretty good. I'm starting to see he's starting to, as you would expect, he's getting much older, so he can't go as hard as he used to, but still going well. You got the MJF Gold card. Never get enough of MJF. Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Currently the AEW World Championship Heavyweight Champion. One of the few guys that know how to get legit heat. I mean, he talks over all his promos, I'm sure, before he goes live with those promos, like in front of the fans. But one of the few guys who does not care if it offends people. So I will give him credit for that. Then we have Dr. Breaker DMD on this. I think this is called Pyro. I'm sorry if I can't remember, but you have this like kind of like Pyro. So Dr. Britt Baker DMD. She is a legit and real life dentist. And then you have the Icon Sting. And this guy had $5 on there. Again, I paid $25 for the card. And you have Sting, which is really cool. He has talked about this year being this is like his final year, more than likely. He has alluded to it. He's kind of being cagey about when he will actually officially retire. He even said himself recently he thought he would not be wrestling and be as prominently featured as he has been because he's much older and he's not able to do everything he used to do. But he is still. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, he probably for better or for worse, I think he jumped. I want to say off the ring onto Sammy Guevara on a table, and he miscalculated and barely made the jump and like landed on Sammy Guevara's knee, and it like hit him right in the mouth. And you could tell he was stunned a bit and was taken aback. So it's probably not one of his finer moments. He probably needs to stop taking those kind of risks. I mean, he is in real life 60, I don't know, 4 years old or something, and he's up there. All right, so next, what everybody's waiting for, the actual baseball cards. So let's get to it. All these cards were, I think, also $25. Right. Yeah. So next one up is Michael Jordan, and this Upper Deck card here. This is when he went to go play for I forgot, I think the Alabama Barons or something, or Birmingham Barons, I believe that's the name of the team when he left the Chicago Bulls and became a baseball player. So I know they've ever seen this card before. They get them at, this is not like I'm going to say it's rare or whatever. Just did not have it. And if you don't know, now you know. If you don't know, now you know. But if you don't know, I've noticed a lot of people have been asking for a lot of Michael Jordan baseball-related cards because, again, a lot of his basketball cards are super expensive and people can't afford them. So they're going for his baseball stuff. And again, maybe this has been out there for a while, but I have been noticing that a lot more of these shows. And when I've been on some live streams, people doing live auctions, I've heard them mention that. So I'm thinking it has to be a thing. Again, it may not be anything new, but it was new to me. Next up is a 2021 Don Mattingly. I did not have from Stadium Club. Donnie Baseball from Evansville, Indiana, close to where I went to college. I personally believe he should be in the Hall of Fame. But what do I know? And then I always pick up a Yu Darvish rookie card. There's multiple Yu Darvishes, but again, getting this card for $25, yep. I will do the quarter Darvish rookie cards all day long. All these cards I got for $25, so the Michael Jordan, all these cards I'm getting ready to show off, I picked up for $1 schmeckle. one pence, but not to be confused with Mike Pence. Next up is a Reggie Jackson like insert set of Donnie Baseball from 1993. Like I said, these all said like $3 or $1.50, blah blah blah. I got them all for a quarter. I never seen this guy before the show, so it's pretty cool. I think he just probably had his own personal collection. I mean, it wasn't like he was some kind of flipper. Like he got into it when it was hot and heavy a couple of years ago. It was like I think this guy was like, "Oh, I have all these cards laying around my house in my garage. Let me just bring them in and say quarter of these cards, dollar these cards, whatever." And I was like, "Yes, please, I will do that." Then this one's an electric diamond. Don Manley. I have the original. I have the just the base card. But when I saw the electric diamond right here again, you can see that right there. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And again, not necessarily rare or expensive, just something unique you don't see every day. At least, again, not me. You know, you had $2 on there, but yeah, right, $2. Okay, I'm with you. I'm following you. $2, please, please. Next up is a Yu Darvish insert from 2021 Panini. So this is a cool looking card. That's some great deals. Jason Love, the Donnie Baseball, the Darvish. Yeah, man. Thanks. I appreciate it, Jackie. So yeah, I got this one right here. Dominators. And yeah, this you probably can't see it on the well, it doesn't pick it up really good. Oh, there you go, maybe a little bit. But if you can see, it has like some what do you call that? Some like not chrome, but refractor. There we go, prism-ish type look, and it has like it's almost like it's rain coming down in the sheets. This is where it's kind of there. You go, you can kind of see it there. So anyways, got them all for a quarter. And this is kind of cool. Again, this guy had he had $3 listed on it, but I mean, like, it's a Hall of Fame rookie card. It looks crispy, you know, so maybe one day it'll end up in a submission, but a John Smoltz rookie card. It's really well centered. And I know this card, even if it gets a 10, it's not an expensive card, I don't believe. But I mean, the card looks great. The corners are super sharp. It's centered well. Like I said, on the back, it said $3. I did not pay $3. But it's John Smoltz rookie card, so I was just like, sure. For one quarter, I will be your Huckleberry. I think I already had this card, but again, I think the guy gave it to me for $1. And for $1, I'll do it. This is one of the Ichiro medallions. And like I said, he put it on the back too. But every time whatever card I show you, if I flip it on the back, this guy was a wheeler and dealer. So he's like, if you don't know the story about how shows like hobby shows became so popular and the cost of everything being kind of like it was set up to be like kind of a trick to get you to spend money. 50 years ago, whatever, comic book shows were a thing way before there's probably baseball card shows. And they weren't selling comic books. They would sell the comic books for $50. Nobody would come, or $25. But then the comic book dealers realized what they can do is mark it up high and then say they're going to do half off. So people thought they're getting a good deal. And then they started selling the same books they were trying to sell the previous month for $25, but they moved it to $50 and then said half off. They were selling those books for $25, which is the price they wanted to pay or sell for anyways. Because the consumer thought they were getting a deal, which now this is a common, daily practice. Everybody, Walmart does it. Everybody does it, but dealers now do it. So even though this guy marks $2, he already knows in his head he's going to probably cut it in half. So all these cards I'm going to show you from here on out, I think mostly was from the same vendor. So he was willing to sell me this entire stack you're getting ready to see, except maybe for a few cards. It's like $40. So every card I'm getting ready to show you total, I got for $40. So it's a pretty good deal. So I think I got 3 or 4 cards from one other person, which I'll show separately. But all these cards you get ready to show, I want to show you I got for $40 total. So anyway, so just assume if I show you the back, it's going to be a half of that more than likely. So there's the Yu Darvish medallion from 2020. And then I got this rookie card here of Masataka Yoshida from the Bowman paper. I think this is from last year. Or no, this is from this year, sorry. So I got that one. And again, it says $1. And then the guy was giving me cards that because he knew I told him I would collect Japanese guys. So then he was just starting to show me every Japanese card he just bought from a new collection. He was like, "What about this? What about this? What about this?" And I was like giving him fair, like, "Yeah, that's probably a couple $1 card. That one's $1. That one maybe $5 or whatever." Again, because it's there's nobody major. And then he'd be like, "You can have it for $1. You want it for $1?" I'm like, "Sure." So he gave me some cards that were like autographs and relics and numbered cards that probably could sell for at least $3 to $5. At least on eBay, probably. He gave me this for $1. So I was like, okay, I will take your good deal. Thank you. So next up was, again, another $1. This is a Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani. Elite Company is the name of the card. He marked it, like I said, $1 on the back. But there you go. Which this was from last year. Who would have thunk after this picture, within like maybe 8 months later, Ohtani was striking out Trout in the World Baseball Classic, which is still pretty cool. Now I think Trout is out for the season, or at least a partial of the season. And then this was a cool one. This is one of the cards I was telling you about. He didn't know what to cost. This is low number, not 99, but it's a Jordan Yamamoto relic card out of 99. This is number 46. And again, I'm not saying it's a super expensive card, but you probably could get more than $1 out of this card. I mean, again, especially if you put it online. As most of you all know, maybe you don't know, if you know my channel, I've told people before, if you sell Japanese or Asian ball players a lot on eBay, you can make pretty good money, because a lot of those guys, there's a lot of collectors that are homers. They collect Taiwanese guys and Chinese guys and Korean guys and Japanese guys. So, I mean, I do a lot. I have so many doubles and triples and quadruples and blah, blah, blah. So I'll throw a couple up from time to time on my auctions on eBay. And, I mean, a card I have like zero money in will sell for $1 or $2. After all the charges and everything, I'll clear like $1. $1 for a card I literally have zero in. All right, I'll do that all day long, and then times that by 5 or 10, 12 cards every probably week I do that. Yep, sign me up. So this is the other one. This is a on-card autograph. He had $2 on it, and I showed it to him. He was like, "Yeah, just take it for $1." Again, and this is a refractor of Jordan Yamamoto from Bowman Platinum. I'm sorry, Bowman's Best. But an autograph of Jordan Yamamoto from the Marlins. And again, I don't even know if this guy's even still playing in baseball. But a Japanese guy again, this one's a Japanese-American guy. But an on-card autograph from Bowman and a rookie card and a refractor for $1. Again, eBay, I mean, you could also be looking at Whatnot. And you could do a lot. I could do a lot worse than $1. So, yes, sign me up. And then kind of staying in it's almost like I became a Jordan Yamamoto super collector when I was at this guy's table. He had a 2020 Panini. He also sold me for $1. Numbered out of 149. This is 108. A relic autograph card of Jordan Yamamoto. So very cool. And this is number 108 out of 149, I think, yes. So very cool tools of the trade. This is a sticker autograph, but again, I'm not going to complain. For $1 all day long. The only problem I had about this dealer is I wish he had more stuff like this, that he would just pretty much just give it away. Because almost I went through, he had like 6, maybe more, like low-end $1 boxes or $5 boxes. And then he would just pretty much like, everything's $1. Like every time I ask him, I'm like, what about this? What about this? What about $1? And so it's a funny story because the guy who was running the table was not actually the guy who runs the table. So the guy who actually owns the table was going around making deals and like buying products and stuff. But he had a guy that was working with him that was a buddy who actually lives in the next town over from me. This guy's name was Bernie. Now, Bernie was the guy that was willing to deal with me. And then the other guy came over later when Bernie got distracted. And he's the one who kept doing the great deals. So Bernie and I hit it off, and we were talking, and we're just talking, and then we found out we both live right next to each other. He lives in the same town Carl Erskine lives in Anderson, Indiana. And Bernie had a cool shirt on, so him and I talked about music. We're just having a good old time. And like I said, we found out we live right next to each other. It was super cool. But Bernie decided to wear that day some really short, like 1970s NBA basketball shorts, super short. And, you know, of course, people wear whatever they now, especially nowadays, people, what do they do? Now, you're not going to get too much pushback from anybody just because that's just the world we live in. And, you know, like I said, I don't care what you wear. It doesn't bother me as long as I can get good deals and you're a good guy, whatever. So this kid comes over, probably like 7-8-year-old kid. He comes over to Bernie, not the same guy from Weekend at Bernie's, a different Bernie. But he actually kind of looked like the guy from Weekend at Bernie's, except he's a lot taller. And this kid, who's probably a little tiny guy, like I said, 7-8 years old, and Bernie's probably a good 6'1", 6'2", probably. He's not a tiny guy. So this kid comes over and he goes, "Hey, you know, man, or whatever, will you do a trade with me?" And Bernie's like, "I don't know. Let me take a look at your stuff." And the kid has, you know, low end, whatever. And he's like, "If I give you these 5 cards or whatnot, can you give me this card or this 2 cards?" And the guy was like, you know, you could tell he just wanted to help out a kid. And so he didn't really want the cards, but he kind of felt bad. So he's like, all right, kid, we'll do the deal. He's like, "Shake my hand on it." The kid puts his hand out, he shakes. And then the kid goes, right after he shakes his hand, he goes, "Oh, can I get that card too?" And I picks another random card. And so Bernie's like, "Oh, man, you're really killing me, man." He's like, all right, kid. And so Bernie's being like really nice to this kid. His kid's here unsupervised. He doesn't have his parents around. And so then the kid goes, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" And, "Hey, what up, Steve?" And the kid goes, "Can I ask you a question?" He goes, "Why are you wearing them booty shorts?" Like super loud in front of everybody and God himself. He was like, and then Bernie was like, "I'm sorry, what?" Because he's like trying to do other deals now. He's moved on from that kid. This kid goes, "Why are you wearing them booty shorts, dude?" Like he was like it was like, you know, he was angry about it. Like, this guy, how dare you roll out of bed today, come to this card show and wear a dim booty shorts? So this guy, you know, because now you're dealing like an 8-year-old kid. So I mean, how mean or matter of fact or abrasive do you want to be? Because everybody is there watching you interact now with this kid, because this kid is saying it loud. I mean, you know, and the guy goes, "Oh, I just like these shorts or whatever. They make me feel good." Or he says something like, "It gives me good air condition" or something. He goes, "Yeah, but why are you wearing them booty shorts?" And so, you know, of course, when you're dealing with like an 8-year-old, the explanation doesn't work. Like, you know, because a kid can't get past that you're looking like, you know, in his mind, like a goofball. And so this guy does this deal with this kid. He tries to like shake his hand and tries to have this good interaction. And then this kid just starts like throwing all the shade at poor Bernie. And Bernie's just like trying to laugh it off. But the kid is not letting it go. It's like once like a pit bull gets down on that old ham bone, he's just like digging in. And the kid goes, "Okay, but I understand what you're saying, but why are you wearing them booty shorts?" And, you know, it was just like all of a sudden it got like awkward and everybody's kind of staring around. Now everybody's staring at Bernie's booty shorts. And I just was like, oh my gosh, dude. And so finally the kid was like distracted by something else. But it felt like it was 10 minutes, but it was probably like, you know, about a minute long. But I kind of felt bad for the poor guy because, 1, no one wants to be called out in front of a bunch of people. 2, by a little kid. You can't say or do anything. 3, he just worked out a deal with this kid to hook this kid up, you know, and like give the kid the card. I mean, he's losing the end of the deal because it was a bunch of, like I said, low end little goofy insert cards that he gave him some like big name stars cards just to be nice. And then the kid ends up like, you know, mocking him in front of everybody. So it's just, I'm like, what do you do in that situation? But I'll never forget this kid because you can just tell, like, you know, Bernie wanted to say something that's probably not going to be very age appropriate for that poor kid, but he just tried to keep it together. Victor said, "What's up, Victor? What's up, hey, Jackie, Steve?" He goes, "I would have drop kicked that kid." Yeah. And if it was me, I would have been a little bit more like matter of fact and short with him. I mean, I wouldn't have like been like mean spirited, but I'd be like, "All right, kid, we got it. I got it. It ain't your style. It ain't for you. I get it. But moving on. But yeah, you know, Bernie was trying to handle it pretty as best he could. He did a good job. But that kid was like all like, I mean, he was like right in his face. He's like, "Can I ask you a question?" And so Bernie gets down low. He's like, "Yeah, what's up, bud? Why are you wearing them booty shorts?" Like right in his face, like he was like it was like, you know, he stole it from him. So it was kind of funny. I was like, that interaction cracked me up. So I'm like, this kid's going in all 100%. So anyway, so let's keep on tracking. This video will be no booty short wearing by me, so rest assured you're safe in this live stream. Next up is a Chrome Tops 206 Matsui when he was with the Angels. This is out of 999. This is 948. So there you have that, which is cool. There's not a whole lot, at least not I'm aware of Hideki Matsui Angels release cards. He only played, I think, maybe not even a full season. So with the Angels, if he did, it was just one season and he was done. But anyways, I saw this. I thought it was super cool. Chrome cards. So that's awesome. Oh, thanks, Steve. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I thought me and John had a really good conversation. It went really well. I thought we covered a lot of topics. We had a lot of things we spoke about. Yeah, I thought overall the conversation went really well. And I mean, having John on is always a good time. I mean, you all know. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. John is just like a font of knowledge, right? He just knows so much, and he's very articulate. He's very smart, and he has a very great sense of humor. And he also is like a no BS guy. I like guys like that. I don't like guys who try to, like, you know, give everybody the hugs and we're gonna sing kumbaya and everything's good and all. It's like, no, like, it's like, you know, we can be adults and you can, you know, say your piece and say what you like or don't like or what your problems are, and everybody should be fine with it. And he's one of those guys. So yeah, it was good to talk to John. And then also the other thing is John brings so much experience, and he knows what he's talking about. So he's been around forever. So even though he might not have been on YouTube forever, when you see his collection, you hear him talk, you know this guy has been in it since the beginning. Like, you know, he's been a true believer. So it's just fun. So I like guys like that because, you know, when you're dealing with him, it's just no BS. When I hung out with him in person, you know, we just cut out the pleasantries, and we just got into talking about his life in general, which is great. Next up is a Diamond Stars of Hideki Matsui. I'm sorry, not Hideki, Daisuke. Sorry. This is out of 199, 175. 175 out of 199. But it's a cool looking card. I've never seen it. If you know Near Mint Musings, Brent's channel, he's a big fan of the Diamond Stars original cards from, I believe, the 30s. They have a very Art Deco look. And I never even heard of the cards before until I watched his channel. And then I think I saw not that John Mancini didn't already have these cards or wasn't aware of them or whatever. But Brent was the first guy I saw who spoke about them. And then John, I think even maybe Blue Jacket 66 Dave has done videos talking about the Diamond Stars cards, but they're very cool looking cards. So anyways, a Daisuke. Next up was a Scott Rowland and a Jim Edmonds, I believe, card. These always confuse me because they have one colored picture right here of the player, which is Scott Rowland, and then they have like a kind of bronze, like shadowy figure in the back. This is out of 150. This is number 28 out of 150. 50 cent, 150 cents. So yeah, again, Scott Rowland. I'm a Hoosier Homer Hoosier. So Scott Rowland, there you go. This picture looks like a mugshot. Like if the guy just took the camera and just aimed it a little further down, it'd be like there'd be a number across his chest that he had to hold because he's being checked into the county jail. But it looks like he got caught like doing a DUI. And this is the picture they're taking. Like, what the heck? I never even noticed that just till now. It's cracking me up because it was like so ridiculous looking. Now, by the way, guys, these are all cards I got for like $1. So again, this if you're popping on or you missed that. Now this one also is at numbered out of 999. This is also a Daisuke card. As also has, I believe that's Chin Ming Wong, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Chin Ming Wong. But I got it obviously for the Dice K. Out of $9.99, this is $2.15 out of $9.99. So there you go. Pretty cool card. That I was just surprised at how many numbered cards these guys had of Japanese guys. Maybe somebody turned them on that I was going to be in town that day, and then they're like, if you have a bunch of Japanese cards, there's a guy that'll come to your booth and probably buy you out of all of them. And so someone must have did that. I believe I have this card. I don't believe I have it in this good of condition. This is a 94, right? A 1994 Greg Maddux Gold. It's a great condition. Like I said, I do have this one, but I think it's a little off center, or there's like a little bit of a bump, a little smidgen on one of the corners. So I always was on the lookout for another one. And again, you see it says $2, but I got it for $1. But anyway, so you have the gold of the Greg Maddux card there. And then this was a cool one here. I don't think I ever even noticed this before. So I may already have this card, and I didn't realize it. I may not, but this one here, it says it's a Topps Gallery from 2019, but it says on the bottom there, it says Masters. So this is some sort of variant, I guess. Sorry, I'm trying to. The old glare bears back. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. There. So, anyways, that says Masters. And I appreciate this guy because he like finds those little things about it, and he like lets you know, hey, there's something different about this card than your regular this base card. You just put Masters up there. So I wouldn't even probably known to look for that. I just would have been like, oh, it says Ichiro and then like Seattle Mariners or something. So, anyways, I'm pretty sure I don't have that card. If I do, I never really paid attention to that. So yes, please. Next up, this was a super cool card. I never knew this existed. This is super awesome. This is from Diamond Kings from 2002. This might have been this guy's rookie year, if I'm not mistaken, or it's like his second year. It's So Taguchi in this Diamond Kings like mini card. It says Diamond Kings and it says RC, so maybe it's Diamond Kings rookie card kind of thing. But this is super cool. I love the look of this card. When I saw this card, I was like, I'm gotta get this card. And then when I found out they were doing it for like a $1, I was like, whoa. But the cool thing is this is a really low numbered print run. This is 13 out of 1,000. Now 1,000 at the print run, but it's a 13 is kind of a cool, off the press number 13. So I don't know if you all can see that or not, but anyways, it was super cool. So I saw that, and So Taguchi, I think, I could be wrong, but I think he's the only Japanese baseball player who has 2 World Series wins underneath his belt. He won, I believe, I want to say both times with St. Louis Cardinals or one time with St. Louis, and he ended up being like on the bench or something for like the White Sox or somebody who won the following year. I don't know remember that statistic exactly, but I'm pretty sure he is the only one who's won a World Series, 2 World Series. Even though I don't think he did much in either one. He just happened to be on the bench, but he was there. All right, next up is another kind of cool one. This is a Yu Darvish Bowman Chrome rookie card. That's in excellent shape. I got for $1. I couldn't believe the guy only had it for $1. And like I mentioned this in a video recently. Yu Darvish is sneaking up on a real serious opportunity that he might be looking at Hall of Fame level credentials for American Hall of Fame. He's not quite there yet, but I think this past offseason he signed with the Padres for, I want to say, 4 or 5 years. And he's been having a pretty good season, at least what I remember recently. So if he has a stellar next couple seasons, his strikeouts and his wins, and then if he ends up winning a World Series, he already performed in a couple World Series, and we know that he ended up getting shelled because the Astros were freaking cheaters. But, he had a couple World Series appearances. It didn't go that well for him, I don't believe, especially the one that he was really a part of that really, they put it to him, unfortunately, because they were cheating. But anyway, so you have that. Next up, this one was marked $5, so I probably got it for $2. But I did not have this. It's a Topps Chrome rookie card of Lars Nootbaar right there. I am a Lars Nootbaar fan. I've been watching his every time the Cardinals play. I watch him. I think tonight there's a Cardinals game on. I'm gonna try to catch if I'm not mistaken. But I already liked Lars Nootbaar a lot after I saw him play for Japan in the WBC. But I know I've said this already in a video, but I'll say it again. He during Mother's Day they brought his mom on as a special guest, and so Lars Nootbaar thought he was going to get interviewed by the commentators before the game started. It might have been even during the game, and they're like, "Oh, your biggest fan wants to talk to you." You could tell he was kind of like, "Oh, okay." And then it was his mom, and his mom gets on there, and she's just the sweetest she could be. And Lars started choking up, and he's like, "You're the only person that'll ever make me cry, Mom. I love you." And I just was like, "Wow, this guy here, man. He's surrounded by a bunch of big, strapping young lads and burly dudes, and they're all big, bulky, muscular dudes up there. And then you have Lars Nootbaar, who's also no little waif, and he's getting all choked up because his mom just wanted to say how much she loved him and how much she was proud of him. And I was like, he's like, "Thanks, Mom, you're the best." And I'm all like, I'm like, that was just awesome. That was such a cool moment. I just like, man, that is so cool. I was like, dude, I just became your biggest fan from that. Even if he ends up not having the best career ever, that makes me just want to collect his cards even more just because of that interaction. It's kind of like there was this kid a couple years ago, and I think he was pretty young when he first started out with it. He was with the I think he was with the Diamondbacks where he's a pitcher. I can't remember his name all of a sudden, it escapes me, but he got his signing bonus because he signed with the Diamondbacks. And I want to say his name starts with a P, or his last name starts with a P, or his first name starts with a P. It's a little bit unique in the name, kind of like Lars Nootbaar, but he ended up, unbeknownst to his parents, he paid for their house. He paid everything off, whatever debt they had, and just took care of everything for his parents. They had no idea. And then he told these people, I don't know. Anyways, the people who were interviewing him about, I want to say Pavin something Smith. I can't remember his real name, but I think if you know the situation, you'll know. But anyways, and so they interview him and they talk about it, and then they show up at the house and they record his parents opening this letter from the bank, their promissory note or whatever it's called, with their house, and it shows that it was paid in full and it was all taken care of. And to see him interact with his parents and the things they said to each other, that stuff as a father gets me every time. It just shows you you raised a good kid or a good man right there, that instead of going out and buying a bunch of cars and their own houses or buying a bunch of hookers and blow and just keggers and everything, when you're a young man, the first thing you think about is taking care of your folks, man. And I'm not saying that people who do those other things aren't taking care of their folks. I mean, I don't know, but that's the kind of thing you always hear about. And then you see somebody like this young man who it's so easy to take that money and then just go to town buying ridiculous stuff. But the first thing you think about is making sure your parents are taken care of. Man, that gets me right in the feels, Yeah. All right, man. Take care, Steve. So anyways, here's a Lars Nootbaar gold out of from 2022. This is number 677. So that you see up there. So you have the Topps chrome. Then I got the gold. This one was marked 15, and this was marked 5. But I think I got them both for just a couple dollars. So there you go. But that gold one, I'm because Lars Nootbaar's rookie cards on YouTube on eBay go for quite a bit of money. I'm always shocked. And then this was a cool one. I know this guy's back in Japan, but it's not. I don't think it's numbered, but it's an on-card autograph, and he gave it to me probably $5. Shogo Akiyama from the Cincinnati Reds. Super pumped about that because again, that's a autograph that 99.999% of Americans could care less about because he was a bust. Even with the Reds, he was a bust. Especially a couple of years ago. Now he probably would be sitting on the bench, I would assume, at this point with all those young talents. But again, getting the car for a couple of dollars, I will do it. Now we're gonna get on to some like more like middle 2000 stuff. Numbered. This is a Kazuhisa Ishii card, and it's numbered out of 2002. Great year, 2002. 1148. I was still young and full of hope. I was still full of piss and vinegar. And then life set in and reality set in, and then I became a bitter old man. Then we have Tsuyoshi Shinjo out of 1500. This is 612 out of 1500. This looks like an Upper Deck product. Yes, it's Upper Deck SP. You see down there, right down there, the numbered. Yeah, I think he was the first Japanese player to ever play in a World Series. Hey, what up, Scott? What up, Scotty Too Hottie? But he also was a complete bust. Talking about Shogo Akiyama, kind of the same situation. He played for 2-3 years. He played for I think he started out with the Mets, and he ended up going to, no, he started out with the Giants. Then he went to the Mets, and then he went home. And I think now he's a manager. I want to say he's a manager for my team, the SoftBank Hawks. And he always tells everybody to call him Big Brother or something. I can't remember. Like he goes around telling everybody, just call me Big Brother. Not Shinjo-san or Shinjo-sama or Tsuyoshi or Mr. Tsuyoshi. He's like, just call me Big Brother or something like that. It's like even now he's just like kind of a wild man. Then we have the Kazuo Matsui out of 799, and this is 625. So again, and he ended up doing kind of the same thing. I think he was probably one of the ones during this time before Matsui showed up, Hideki Matsui, that was a fielder outside of Ichiro who came and actually had a pretty good little run. You had a lot of guys that came over and either they didn't get any playing time or they got bounced and went back to Japan after like not even a whole year, or they came like Shinjo and like they were on the team for a year or two, but they never seemed to be playing. Matsui, he actually, he has a little bit of pop in his bat. So he was on the Rockies, he was with the Mets, he was with the Astros. So he played quite a bit. He had a little bit of pop in his bat. He was pretty good shortstop. So for him, he got to stay around a lot longer than a lot of these other guys. And again, back then, also a lot of these Japanese ball players were coming over during after they had already been in Japan for like 10 years playing baseball at the major league level over there, at the high level there. Because now it's becoming more common to post players like Shohei, and they only have a few seasons under their belt, and they come over here still as young men. And I think Shohei came over at 26. He's almost 30 now or something like that. But that was like almost unheard of, a decade ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. They already came over. Like Ichiro, he felt obligated to stay and stay his whole 10-year contract or whatever. So by the time he got over, he was already like, I think 30-ish or like 28, 29 years old. So he was already, an old man in baseball standards. And he still was able to put up the numbers he did. So it is what it is, but there it is. And this is really cool. I did not know this card existed. This is a Score rookie card. And it has that look that they did back in Score did back in the day, of the product with the big head animated look, which is super cool. And this is out of 99. This is number 72. Like I've told you before, you always got to have some coochie in your videos. Coochie, 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 coochie. Charo makes an appearance. So yes, UCA Kikuchi, Coochie for life, hashtag Coochie Collector. So that was super cool. It's a good looking card. This is a great, seriously, look at that card. That is a great looking image of Kikuchi. Really good. I was really impressed with how good this card looked. When I saw that, I got, like I said, for $1, I was like, oh, geez, that's a great looking card. This is a card that's numbered out of 75. This is number 14 out of 75 of Daisuke Matsuzaka from Fenway Park Stadium scenes. A piece of history. There you go. Most people know Daisuke started out kind of a big deal. Started out like the first season or season and a half pretty good. And then talking about was like how the wheels fell off. It was like it was rough there at the end. And then this is a cool card. I may own this, but I was just like, again, for $1 or whatever I got it for. It's a Sport Flicks. There you go, like a cool Sports Flicks from 1996. So I don't think this is his rookie year. I think 95 was his rookie year. Hideo Nomo. But this is a really cool. Oh, there we go. You can kind of see his face a little bit there. There you go. So yeah. So there's that. And again, I got this because it was a chrome, not a refractor, but it's a chrome Daisuke. I have a whole lot of the paper ones. I don't think I have that many chrome ones. So I went ahead and picked this one up. There's nothing really special about it, just a chrome chrome Daisuke Matsuzaka. But this is actually a really clean looking card. You even see the guy had $10 on it at one point in time, probably 18 years ago or something. But it was a good looking card, looked pretty clean. So if you're a Japanese card collector, this might be the one for you. And then let's see here. This is also a number card out of 2,999. This is 2,732. Bowman's Best. I didn't even realize this is a rookie card, but this is a Bowman's Best Tsuyoshi Shinjo, or Big Brother, rookie card, like a refractor rookie card. It has a refractor vibe to it. I never even noticed it was a rookie card. But again, I mean, all these cards I'm getting for $1, and I'm not saying, oh, this card's so much money. I pulled one over on them. Like, who's out there collecting Tsuyoshi Shinjo cards? Probably his parents, maybe mailman. This one right here was kind of cool. This was a refractor from Allen and Ginter of Ichiro Suzuki. And I think I actually bought one of these from Mike Go a couple years ago. I could be wrong. Or maybe not, because this says 2022. I feel like I bought one similar to this years ago. But I did not think I had this one, so I just went ahead and grabbed it. But right here you have Ichiro, not numbered. This is a refractor. So there you go. The top's chrome. Allen and Ginter. So there you go. And then the last Japanese card, and I have a stack of vintage. So for the people who like the vintage, who stuck it out this long, you will be rewarded. The last one I ended on a Shohei. I think this might be the only Shohei I'm showing. But you have the Ohtani or Shohei Ohtani here, pristine borders. And it does definitely have some pristine borders. Pristine. This is not numbered, but I believe this is from, I guess, the pristine Topps product. So there it is right there. Pristine. So there you have that. I got it for a couple bucks, I'm sure. All right, guys. The ones who stuck around, you will be rewarded with, hopefully you'll be rewarded with some cool stuff. So first up, all these cards I got here was the same guy that was, I think I got all the cards between like $1 to $3. Because there's some kind of cool ones I got. And the great thing about this lot here, this final lot, this is where all the money, I spent $20 with one guy, I spent $40 with another guy, so $60. So all the cards you've seen total, I got for $60 total. Like, no, hard stop, that's it. So, but really the money was spent right here. All that other stuff, like I said, was like around $1. So even though I showed off 25-ish type cards, so that means that this stack, rest of the stack had to be between like 15, 20 bucks itself, roughly. So anyways, the first one up, everybody loves it, especially during the Christmas season. Making a special appearance today is Mossy Claus, Don Mossy, rookie card. So right here, even though it says books 30, they had it listed for $3, and I probably got, like I said, $1 off of that. So I got Mossy Claus right here, Don Mossy rookie card. So I was super excited. I did not have a Don Mossy card in my collection. So why not get the rookie? So got the old rookie card of Don Mossy right there. So super cool about that. Oops, so I'm sorry. I'm like dropping like it's hot. So there we have that one. Whoa. Next up is a Robin Roberts card right here. And the other guy, I think his name's Billy Pierce, if I'm not mistaken, Pierce. So there you got Ace Hurlers. but I did not have. I have a bunch of vintage. I hardly ever show it. I do show it from time to time, but the thing with me and vintage is that if I'm going to buy it, I want to buy it to either one. If I buy it on the cheap, I want at least it to look halfway decent. And if I'm going to spend any real money, I want it to be halfway good. I mean, I don't want to spend a lot of money and the car's all banged up. So I know that's everybody's thing. I mean, everybody wants to get the best deal possible for the best looking card. This is not like a Jason thing. But I got the Robin Roberts right here. Pretty excited. Philadelphia Phillies. Shout out to Ed, Wesker Griff, and Mike O. And Reese. Oh, all right. Next up, this is really cool here. A Don Zimmer from the Dodgers. This is a Los Angeles Dodgers card, not a Brooklyn Dodgers. There you have that, which is super cool. Don Zimmer. Pumped about that card there. So there you have this one. This was marked as $5. Then they moved it to $3, and then, like I said, probably got it for $1. But a lot of these cards, if you can see, they look really good. And I know sometimes these cards can go online for like between $5 and $10, especially when they're this clean. Like the backs are clean on these cards. Again, this card's really clean. It's not tore up. This Mossy card's a little bit more beat up, but again, this is just the edges. But the back and the front of the card looks really good. Just a little bit on the edges that are a little bit wonky. Next up is a, let's see here, 61 Robin Roberts right here with the Philadelphia Phillies. And as you can see here, the guy had it 7, then 5, then 3, and now 2, and then I probably got it for $1. But again, this card looks great. There's no paper loss. This card's a 1961. This card is older. It's older than the hills. It's older than the hills. And looks great. The corner's a little bit soft, but they're not really bent up. They're just a little soft. This one here was cool because it has 2 Hall of Famers on it, and it look great. And again, the card doesn't look it has really any damage. Just pretty good, pretty well, nice and centered. And again, I'm just getting it because I don't care if it. I'm not looking for. I'm not grading these cards. I'm definitely not gonna care one way or the other if they're graded as a 0 or a not 0, is an authentic or a 10. I'm just having fun because I want to get some Hall of Famers cheap for my collection. But you have Whitey Ford and Jim Bunning on this card, on the floating head card from the 1961 Win Leaders. And then Steve Barber, as you can tell, he went to the barber. Look at that flat top he had going on. Look at that flatty. Okay, there we go. I don't know. I had my fingers didn't know what they were doing. I had so much finger action. But anyways, finger action. I'm cracking myself up. But anyway, I got the Whitey Ford right here, Whitey Ford, and then a Jim Bunning. So there you go again and you even see on the back, it's $1. So again, probably just got it for $1. And this one was cool. I believe this guy was a Negro ball player back in the day. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I read that before. I think this is a 1959 card. It's also a Cleveland Indian player. It is Mudcat Grant. And so this card looked great. Really, really clean looking card again. Very well. As you see on the back, it always says $2. As you can see on the back, it's really clean. No paper loss, no busted up corners. Again, I saw this and I was like, man, such a great name. Mudcat. Such a great name. I think if I'm looking at this right, his real name is James, or maybe Jim Grant, but he went by Mudcat. And I'm sure there's a reason behind all that. Let's see if it even says on here. It doesn't say where he played before he came to the MLB. But anyways, there you go. Oh, Mudcat. Oh, that's cool. What's up, Jay? Thanks for popping in. Thanks, man. Thanks for the thumbs up, brother. I like all those 59s. Heroic Waffles Best name ever, Heroic Waffles. Yes. Next up was a Brooklyn Dodgers card, and I believe this guy is controversial. I think it's because he was one of the guys involved. I don't want to besmirch this guy, because if I'm wrong, please tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I believe he's one of the leading dudes that were as against Jackie Robinson playing on the Brooklyn Dodgers, and he was like one of the ringleaders. And again, I'm not trying to talk negatively about the guy, but I want to say I think it was him, and it is Rube Walker. But I cannot remember, and I do apologize that it's not him. But again, this is a great looking card. This card is older than the hills, as I said before. First Black 20 game winner. Oh, nice. Thanks, dude. Thank you. The carddealer.com. Thank you, sir. I'm assuming you're a sir, but I apologize if you're not. Love cards, man. I miss it. Yes. Most definitely. So we got Rube Walker, and again, I don't want to besmirch the man's name if he wasn't one of the guys involved, but I want to say he was. And again, the back is clean. As you can see, again, it was $5, $3, and they went for $2, and I got it probably for $1. But this guy was just giving away cards. I just could not believe it. Could not believe it, man. I could not believe how he was just willing to give these cards away at $1. That card's older than, that's a card's older than Scott. Scott is too hot. All right. Now, I could not believe I got this card for maybe $2. I bet I got this card for maybe $3. But I was shocked when he said, yeah, you can get that. I was like, I'm interested in this card. He had it marked for 10, and he went to 7, and it was marked at 5. And I probably got it for like $3, maybe less. Is the Sporting News Pete Rose. And this card looks great. I mean, this card is like super sexy. Could not believe it. You can look at the back, it's clean. Again, no paper loss, no creases, no busted up corners. It's not miscut, I don't believe. It's not who knows if it's trimmed, but I mean, it doesn't look like it's all been altered in any way. But this is a great, I mean, I've always loved this card. I remember when I was a kid going to all the different, card shops in southern Indiana. This card, because southern Indiana is like a big Cincinnati Reds, like haven. It's because Indiana doesn't have a Major League Baseball team, so a lot of people gravitate usually to the Cubs or the Reds. That's usually like the state's split in half, essentially. And I was a Reds fan. And so this card was always there. Of course, this was way before grading. When I would see this card in the case, and it always just spoke to me because you have all the action going on in the background, the bleachers, the Sporting News, which was cool, just like design with the green and the yellow pops. You have the yellow pop here where it says Pete Rose with the red ink right there with rose and red. And it says on the bottom, National League All-Stars. There's like so much going on in this card. Of course, this is Pete Rose back when he was so innocent before he turned into the evil man he later became. But yeah, man, thanks a lot, brother. I really appreciate it, guys. But yeah, man, this card looks great. Super happy again. I mean, this is not a card that I don't do really the grading thing too much. Like once in a while, if I can get in at a relatively inexpensive level, I'll throw in 10, 15 cards, and I'll send them off to see if I get lucky and get a couple decent grades back on stuff. But I'm sending mostly 90% of the stuff I send is for my collection. I'll send a couple things to resell, but with the way eBay does things now, and like having if it's like a vintage or a super high end card, you have to send it to them, and they have to regrade it and send it back out to the actual winner of the auction, the buyer. I was like, I don't know if I want to deal with all that stuff anymore. So, anyways, there's the Pete Rose, the PD Pete Rose. Oh man, the colors are nice. Yeah, dude, this is really nice. You're right. This is another card that like just pops. I have this card, but it's really dog-eared, and I think it even has like some really big like creases or wrinkles at the top, and you can note it's noticeable because it's a yellow card. So this one again, great corners, really nicely centered. He had it marked as $10. I'm sure he gave it to me for just a couple schmeckles. It is a Carl Erskine, Indiana's own Carl Erskine, right there. And again, it is really nice colors, really bright. I live down the street from Carl Erskine. I'm Carl Erskine now. I think him and like one other guy is the only ones left from the Brooklyn Dodgers. Everyone else has passed away. I can't remember the other guy's name, but I think one or two had passed away in the last year. And then there's Carl, and there's one other guy I want to say is still alive, and everybody else is no longer here, who were with the Brooklyn Dodgers at one point in time. But this one was when he was with LA. But again, he just did a movie. It was like a documentary about his life. They've been showing it all over town. They had like a special like red carpet at the Anderson Paramount Theater in Anderson, Indiana, and he was there, and everybody, like a lot of the local news was there. Him and his wife is also still alive, and this is amazing. Like, they have such a great story, and the guy has to be in his mid-90s now. A couple of years ago, I shared the story before. A couple of years ago, I went to like a German festival or some sort of like special festival, I don't know, some kind of in Anderson, Indiana. And he was just out there walking around. He was like in his mid-80s at the time. He was walking around, just shaking hands, kissing babies at this little festival, and they're like playing like the music and just people grooving down. And you just see him and his wife like just having a good old time with the people of Anderson, Indiana. It was really cool to see. He was just like super down to earth. He was going around, like I told my son, hey, that's Carl Erskine. And my son goes over and shakes his hand. And at the time, my son was probably like 6 or 7. He had no idea who Carl Erskine was. But when I told him he used to play baseball in the major leagues, and he played with Jackie Robinson, he was like, and he like ran over and like shook his hand. So it was a really cool experience. He had all the time in the world for the kids. Super cool experience. So yeah, I might have to get that signed. Yeah, that might be. Next up is everybody's favorite Hall of Famer. You gotta get that. I gotta get this Jim Min 11 Harold Baines rookie card from what is this 1981? Right, this is 81, right? Yeah, 81 tops, right there. I'm definitely gonna get the Jim Min 11 on this bad boy. Again, $1, which is what you would expect. It should only be worth $1 for sure. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer because he's just a what do you call that? He's a what's the word I'm looking for? He just a stat builder. Like he kept building on his stats. He just kept accumulating years of service in the major leagues and kept just creating himself more and more, numbers to get himself there. I mean, he's definitely in the Hall of Good, but he's definitely not in the Hall of Fame. When I saw that for $1, I was like, yes, I have to. I think I have it, but I just like, I'll take another one. I'll take another one. And this is in 1970. There's another one. It's like so clean. I can't believe you just sold this for $1. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, it's a little off center from top to bottom now that I'm looking at it, but again, nothing nuts. This is Jim Bunning Phillies card right here, 1970 tops. So there's that. And then as you can see on the back, he had it marked for 2, then he went down to 1. So, it is what it is. So I got it. James Paul David Bunning. We got 3 biblical names. His parents want to make sure they covered the Bible. James, Paul, and David. They want to make sure they had it all covered. You could retire son of that legend. I could, Scott. I would sell that, but once I get that graded, after I gym that Harold Baines, I get a Jim Min 11 Harold Baines, I will do a party and throw everybody a big old party on my yacht. I'll have White Castles for everybody. I'm buying a couple Crave cases. We will go balls out. Next up was, again, I could not believe this card was marked for $5. I think I got it for like 3, maybe even 4. This is a 1967 of Hall of Famer Al Kaline. Could not believe it. Got this card for bananas. Like, look, even the organic bananas, they're like 20 cents more a bundle or a bushel or whatever. I got it still, even though I got organic bananas. This is cheaper. I could not believe when I went up there and it was like, I gave him the stack and I saw some of these cards I'm showing you all. And he was like, he showed the whole stack with like the modern day cards too. He was like, 40? And I was like, oh, I couldn't get my money out of my wallet fast enough. I was like, yeah, okay, $40 sounds good. Like, before you change your mind. So there you go. And I mean, these guys obviously know what they're doing. I always wonder, like, is this just not something they're interested in? Or maybe they see something I don't see with the naked eye? But I'm like, again, not that they're going to send these cards to get graded, but it's like you would think they would want more money because you go around looking at some of these same cards at other people's tables, and these same cards are like $10, $15, $20 in some tables. So I'm just like, this guy just doesn't care what he doesn't have much in the card. I don't know. So there you go. Okay, my next two cards kind of go together. I don't know which one to show first. I guess I'll show this one first. It's an autograph. It's my first autograph of this player. And it's a really good looking autograph. It's from the Nabisco All-Star Legends with a little COA in there. They had 18 on here. I think this is probably one of the ones that costs a little bit more because he's a top tier Hall of Famer and it's an autograph, on-card autograph. It's none other than Bob Gibson. So these cards, I never had a Bob Gibson autograph. I've always wanted one. And again, I know this is not compared to some of his other cards that are autographed and more fancy schmancy and the autographed baseballs with all the inscriptions. This is like low level, low tier, and I understand that. But for me, this was a great pickup because one, I didn't have it, and two, it was a good looking card. It looks perfect, signed there on the bottom. It's clearly written on there. There's no smudges. And you got the entire name on there clearly. We all know this is a legit set, so it's not like you're wondering if this is a set you have to worry about. Is this like some kind of fake set? So yeah, but for again, basically $10, this guy gave it to me. I was like, "Shit, dog, I'll be your Huckleberry." So yeah, I got the Bob Gibson, and then that folds me into my last card of the night. This is a 1970 card as well. They had it marked for $1, guys. This card has 3 Hall of Famers on it. It looks great. It's off-centered left to right, that's for sure. But it is still, it looks great. I could not believe he had this listed for $1. And when I see it, when I saw it, I'm like, when I turned the card over and it said $1, I'm like, hold on, wait, is there something wrong with this card I'm not seeing? No, it looks great. I mean, like I said, off-center for sure. But $1? Juan Marichal, Steve Carlton, and Bob Gibson. A ERA leaders card from the National League. I mean, I couldn't believe this card was $1. I was just like, wow, okay. But I mean, like I said, this guy either just was doing a blowout, like maybe this is old Bernie. If you were here at the beginning of Bernie, booty shorts Bernie, he was just giving me like these crazy discounts. I couldn't believe it, and so I'm not going to ever complain. I mean, the car looks super clean. It looks like it was pulled out of a pack yesterday. Could not believe how good of a deal I got on this car at $1. And again, I'm not saying you can't get this card online for $1. Maybe you can all day long. Maybe I'm just naive or just ignorant about these card prices. But I feel like if I had typed in this card on eBay, it would not be this clean of a copy, and it would not go for $1. You could probably find the car for $1, but it's all beat to hell, or like it's dog-eared, or it's creased, or there's markings on it or something. This car looks like literally it's pulled from a pack. And I got it for $1. And again, like I said, I'm not trying to make it be bigger than it is. I was very grateful to get this card for $1 schmeckle. So guys, that is it. Those are the cards. I appreciate everybody hanging out here with me. It was a long video, but I thought I'd just, kind of do it all in one shot. Hope you all enjoyed the video. And I will be back again, I'm sure sometime in the next couple of days to do another one. Until next time, peace. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I'm going to be here all night. They won't let me get off here. It's like,